I just want to check with the monitor. Sir, Kekda? Okay. Okay, let us start. It is almost 3 minutes we have passed just for unmuting. Okay. Sharing the screen. Okay. So we are learning about the matter around us, and we are learning about the elements. I hope you remember elements, compounds, and mixtures. Okay, elements, compounds, and mixtures. So today we shall see the difference between elements and compounds, and difference between compounds and mixtures. So before that, I want to show you a small demo. So let us first look at the differences, and then we shall discuss about the mixtures. Okay, so mixture, you mean two or more substances. Okay, when two or more substances are added, it forms a mixture. Okay, when two or more substances are added, it forms a mixture. Whether the mixture is homogeneous, further type of mixture is called homogeneous and heterogeneous. Okay, so two or more substances or elements, when they are mixed, it is called a mixture. That mixture is further classified as homogeneous and heterogeneous. So what do you mean by homogeneous? What do you mean by heterogeneous? Simple. If you are able to see the components, I'm sorry, if you are not able to see the components, okay, not able to see the components, then it is called a homogeneous mixture. The mixture is having uniform concentration throughout. Uniform concentration throughout. What do you mean by heterogeneous mixture? If you are able to see the components. If you are able to see the components. Okay. Okay. Suppose what is the component? Suppose if you have a cup of water, you have a cup of water, you add some amount of sugar. Okay. Yeah, some amount of sugar is added. Then you just mix it. You will be having some sugar solution. Okay. Will you be able to see the sugar particles? No. Therefore, it is a homogeneous mixture. And if you are mixing some fruits, pieces of fruits, fruit salads, it is a heterogeneous mixture. Or some cornflakes mixed with what is that, milk? It is a heterogeneous mixture. A sand and water mixture is a heterogeneous mixture because you can see the sand particles as well as water molecules. That means you can see the water separately with sand. Okay, that is called heterogeneous mixture. Do you get the point? Are you able to understand the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous? Just look at the chat. So please confirm if you are able to understand what is homogeneous and heterogeneous. Okay, now I will show you a small demo and then you can understand better. It's a very simple demo. Listen. Is the camera clear? Is the video is clear? Yes. Okay. Now I am going to take. So what is this? It's a container. Okay, it's a container. So parallelly, I am keeping the chat box on the right hand side. Suppose if you type anything, I can see this. See the chat. Okay. See. So what I'm adding some amount of. What is it? I have added some amount of water. Okay. I have added some amount of water. Okay. So water I have taken in a container. Now, whether water is a element or compound, water is an element or compound, hydrogen is an element, oxygen is an element. Yes, Niranjana, you are right. Hydrogen plus oxygen, H2O, is a compound. Now I am going to make this compound a mixture. I am going to make it as a mixture. See, I am going to add. Okay. So what is this? You can take. You can say this as salt. Okay. I have some amount of salt, okay? I add some amount of salt, see, and now I am going to stir it, okay? So I have added some amount of salt. Okay, I have mixed the salt within this water, or even I can add some amount of water. Okay, so what is it now? I have made water a compound as a mixture now. Okay, now, so what is it? It is a salt solution. It is a mixture. It is a mixture. Are you able to see the salt particles anywhere? Can you see the salt particles? No. Yes? Yes or no? No. Okay, good. Because it is mixed with what? Mixed with water. You will not be able to see. You will not be able to see any salt particle. Even at the bottom. You will be learning more in your 10th standard about solutions. And now you just take it as a mixture. Okay, it is a mixture. Why it is a mixture? It is having water and salt. Okay, and I call this as homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous. That means we are not able to see the constituents. It's a pure liquid. Okay, so pure salt solution. Salt has been completely dissolved. Okay, so even you can see the water acts as a lens, and it is also showing my face. Okay, I just remove my face, otherwise you will get afraid of it. Okay, fine. I just remove my face just to see liquid. Okay, fine. So this is a pure homogeneous solution where you are not able to see the particles separately, and it is the salt is uniformly distributed throughout the solution. Therefore, it is what is called a homogeneous solution or homogeneous mixture. Now, I take another jar. I add some amount of water. Okay. Now, I am going to mix something else. Okay, so what could it be? What could it be? I took it from my kitchen. Yes, coffee powder. Srinija, good. Coffee powder. Okay, fine. Now I mix this coffee powder in this water. See what happens. Okay, can you see the coffee powder is trying to mix with water? Yes. Okay, so all the coffee powder, it is not completely mixed. The coffee powder is trying to mix with water. Okay, so I just help this coffee powder to mingle with water. Okay, I just stir it. Now I have mixed this coffee powder with water, but yes, you are right, Resni, but you should be able to see the, can you see the coffee particles? Can you see the, no, Srinija, please look at the video carefully again. Are you able to see the coffee particles or not? So I will just make it stir, okay? See, are you able to see the coffee particles moving here and there? Okay, but it is difficult, but you can see, okay? Fine. So if I settle it, if I allow to settle it down, you can see some difference between the top and bottom layer. And now, as you are able to see, so this is a mixture of coffee powder and water. Even you can take some amount of mud or sand. You can mix a tablespoon of sand with water. You will be getting a solution like this. But you can see the particles separately. You should be able to see the particles. Now you can see. Can you see the particles moving? Yes, they are not completely dissolved. Yes, it is even chili powder, even turmeric powder. They will not be mixed within the solution. Now you are able to see the coffee particles, okay? As you are able to see the components of this mixture is called heterogeneous mixture, okay? And heterogeneous mixture does not have uniform distribution. Some parts, the distribution of that solute, namely that coffee powder, is more. At some part, the solution of or the dissolution of the coffee powder is less. Therefore, it is having ununiform distribution. That is why you can see different colors. Okay, so dark at the bottom, some light portion at the top. Okay, so this is about the heterogeneous mixture. I will just allow you to settle down. After 5 minutes, I will do it. Okay. Okay, so Yathusan is asking, sir, if we filter, what will happen? If we filter, what will happen? Okay, as Yathusan has asked, what will happen if we take the filtrate? Okay, now I will try to filter it out. Okay, I have a tissue paper here. I will try to filter it. I have another vessel here. See, as Yathusan asked, what will happen if we filter it out? I will now cover this with a tissue paper. Now I am going to filter it. Okay, I cover it with tissue paper and I am going to filter the coffee powder. So let us see what happens. Okay, what happens is that as I have taken a thick tissue paper, it is taking much more time for the water to come out. So the water has to come out from this tissue paper through the tissue paper, and you can separate the coffee powder. Okay, so that is the topic. Next topic, we will be learning the separation techniques. Okay, so don't worry about that. We will be learning the separation technique. Okay, and you should see that the coffee particles should be with this filter paper. Okay, fine. So that happens when you filter it out. So now what you have to understand is that, yes, okay, Srinija, good. So coffee decoction, fine. But coffee decoction is a homogeneous solution. Okay, coffee decoction, as you are taking the extract of coffee powder, it is homogeneous. The decoction will be uniform. Whereas just a mixture of a coffee powder and water is heterogeneous. Okay, so what you have understood, when you are not able to see the particles of a mixture, when you are not able to see the constituents of a mixture, then that mixture is called homogeneous. When you are able to see the particles, then it is called heterogeneous. Okay, fine. And in 10th standard, you will be learning further classification of this homogeneous mixture as solutions. There is a separate lesson called solutions. Okay, that is called true solution. It is called true solution. Now, even I can do one more example. So I can add a drop of milk. Okay, so I have to go to the kitchen. I have to get it some a drop of milk, and I can add the milk in this water. Okay. Let us see what happens. Suppose I add a drop of milk. What will happen is that milk will be uniformly distributed throughout the water, and it will also form a solution. Okay, so what is the name of that solution? That we will learn in the next class. Now you have understood what is homogeneous, what is heterogeneous. Okay, and also now let us see the difference in homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so first of all, we have to learn about the difference between element and compound, and then we shall pass on to compound and element. Oh, sorry, compound and mixture, and then we will learn about the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so first listen, elements. Element is made out of only one kind of atom. Compounds are made out of more than one kind, two or more. Smallest particle is atom. For compounds, smallest particle is molecule. It cannot be broken down. It can be broken down into elements by chemical methods. Okay, so these are the examples of elements and compounds. Okay, if you take sodium chloride as an example, sodium is an element, chlorine is an element, but sodium chloride is a compound. The smallest particle that retains all its properties is an atom, sodium atom. Here, sodium chloride molecule. Sodium chloride can be split into sodium and chlorine, but the sodium cannot be split further. Even if you take water, hydrogen and oxygen can be separated. Hydrogen is an element, oxygen is an element. When hydrogen and oxygen are mixed in this ratio 2:1, then you will get water. Smallest particle is one water molecule. Okay, fine. So this is about the difference between elements and compounds. And mixture, okay, two or more kinds of elements or compounds are both physically mixed together in any ratio. So when you talk about compounds, so please understand this point. When you talk about compounds, elements should be added in fixed ratio. Elements should be added in fixed ratio. One sodium, one chlorine, 1:1. Whereas if you want to make a mixture of sodium chloride and water, you can take any amount of sodium chloride and any amount of water. There is no fixed ratio. That is any ratio. Okay. Suppose if you add sugar, sodium chloride and water, then it is a mixture. After that, you can categorize as homogeneous mixture. But compound contains a fixed ratio. Mixture contains any ratio. Are you able to understand this? If I say a compound, say for example, water, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, sodium chloride, 1 sodium, 1 chlorine, sugar, C11, H22, O11, 11 carbon, 22 hydrogen, 11 oxygen. Now I want to make a mixture. So this is a compound in fixed ratio. I want to make a mixture. Water plus salt plus sugar. Any ratio, any amount, then it is a mixture. Okay. So there are importantly there are two types. So one is called homogeneous and another one is called heterogeneous. So before that, let us see the difference between mixture and a compound. Mixture is two or more substances. A compound is a single substance. Okay, constituents may be in any proportion. That's what I told. Okay, but it has definite proportions. And the mixture show the properties of their constituents. That is what we saw in the last class. Okay, iron plus sulfur. Okay, when you just physically mix it, it will still retain the magnetic property. When you make it as a compound, iron to oxide, okay, iron oxide, when you make iron and sulfur burnt and you make iron oxide, then it is a compound. It will not have the property of iron. The magnetic property was lost. That is what the third point says. And it can be separated easily by physical methods. Okay, so for the same example, I hope you remember. Okay, if you have used some magnet, the iron can be separated, sulfur can be separated, but this compound can only be separated by one or more chemical reactions. So this is the major difference between mixture and compound. We have seen the difference between element and compound. Now compound and mixture. The next difference between the mixtures, two types of mixtures are homogeneous, heterogeneous. So components cannot be seen separately, just like the salt solution. Component can be seen separately, just like the coffee powder solution or sand solution. It has uniform composition. It does not have uniform composition. Okay, every part has the same properties. If you take 1 ml of that solution, that will have the same property. Whereas the property of a heterogeneous mixture vary throughout the solution. On the top, it will be having some property. At the bottom, it will be having some other property. Some examples are ice cream. milk and steel. Okay, when you have pure milk, it is a homogeneous mixture. But when you mix milk with water, that is a different mixture. We will be seeing it as a colloid. Okay, colloid. We'll be learning later. Just remember, pure milk is a homogeneous solution, a homogeneous mixture. And examples of heterogeneous mixtures are soil, mixture of oil and water, mixture of milk and cereals, etc., etc. You can add, go on adding. Okay, so all these solutions or these mixtures are having practical importance in our day-to-day life. Okay, and with this, we end the topic on the different types of elements, compounds, and mixtures. Okay, now we shall pass on to the separation techniques. Okay, we will pass on to the separation techniques. Separation. So what can we do? Suppose if you have some amount of oil, unfortunately you just mixed some water with the oil. What will you do? Will oil and water mix or not mix? Please tell me. Suppose they won't mix. Yes, they won't mix. That is called, yes, it will float. Yes, you are right, Ragini and others. Niranjana, good. It will float. Unfortunately, some water is mixed with, yes, Vignesh, yes, Srinija, good. Yes, good. So oil is mixed with water. Unfortunately, you can separate it. You can separate it. That is, using a separation technique, you can separate it. Okay. And also, say for example, some solid, say for example, a salt, for example, ammonium chloride. Okay, in our book we have an example of ammonium chloride mixed with sand. Okay, mixed with sand. It is mixed. So how to separate it? And suppose if we have some calcium carbonate powder, okay, mixed with water, how to separate calcium carbonate and water? And you have seawater. Sorry, seawater. You have seawater. I want pure water. Okay. So how to get pure water out of seawater? These are all separation techniques. Okay. So there are so many simple examples we can see in our home. So while making kesari or rava upma, what do? You have a filter. Am I right? For jalada vechi jalipavillaya. For making rava kesari, rava upma. Okay. What do? You have a filter. So jalladai. Okay. So you have to separate it. Why do we separate it? Suppose there are so many, if there are any insects, okay, or some bugs. So because of the nature of that food item, suppose there are so many bugs, you can separate the bugs using the filter, the same thing, okay? It is a solid. Therefore, you use some separation technique, okay? Similarly, you can separate two liquids. These two liquids are immiscible liquids, MIMMI SICIBLE, okay? Immiscible liquids. You can separate two immiscible liquids by a method. So what is the method? And the method is called solvent extraction method, okay? So we will discuss in detail in the next class. So we will be separating two liquids, immiscible liquids, using solvent extraction method. And there is another method to separate a solid plus water solution. You can separate a solid from water or solid from a liquid solution. So which is which has not been completely dissolved. You can separate the solid using centrifuge method. Okay, centrifuge or centrifugal method. I will show you the video. And another technique is called. So what is that? Suppose you have a solid which is mixed with some sand. Sublimation is another technique. Sublimation. Okay, sublimation is a technique that can be used to separate the solids which sublime. That means when you heat the solid has to change its phase directly to vapor instead of liquid. Okay, solid to liquid, solid to gas. Solid to gas is called sublimation when heated. Okay, when you apply some amount of heat, the solid completely transfers into gaseous state. That is called sublimation. You can use the sublimation technique to separate the solids which are or which sublime upon heating. Okay. And one more thing is that distillation method. Okay, distillation method. And seawater contains so many salts dissolved in it. If you boil seawater, what will happen? Immediately the water vapor will be coming out of seawater. Okay, you can collect the water vapor and you cool it, you will be getting pure water. That is called the separation technique, to separate pure water from seawater. Okay, so there are so many methods involved in separation of solids, separation of liquids, and even the fractional distillation is a method to separate the products from petroleum. So we'll be learning all these things. And also one more thing I would like to show you is that, see, I have a tissue paper here and I have marked a small ink mark. Okay, I have put some ink mark. Suppose this ink is pure. Suppose if this is a blue ink, okay. Suppose if this ink is pure, after 10 or 12 hours, there will not be any other color in this tissue paper. Suppose this ink is impure. Suppose there are several dyes are added. Dye means DYE, dye, okay. Dyes are added, colors are added. This will be showing different colors, okay. And the ink will be spread out throughout the tissue paper, and you can see many colors. We can separate several colors from a dye. This technique is called paper chromatography. I will make this paper chromatography demo in 1 or 2 days. I will show you in the next class. Okay, so I will take another tissue paper. I will also put some dots from a sketch. I'm going to use a sketch. I will put some dots from different color sketch. The sketching can be flowing. That is called the technique is called adsorption. We will be discussing in the next class. And you can also separate the dyes from a particular ink using chromatography technique. That all these things we are going to see in the next class. Okay, so the separation techniques, and these are all of industrial importance. Okay, so these are all are having industrial importance because you can separate cream out of milk using a centrifugation technique. That is why you are having different kinds of this almond milk. Okay, so you have creamy almond milk, orange color cover, and then some green color almond cover. Have you seen that? Different colors of almond milk. So because the cream were separated from the milk, all these separation techniques are used in the industries too. Okay, and they have printed like this. Okay, koduppu neekapatta paal. Okay, so cream were removed. Like that, you'll be learning more separation techniques in the next class. Okay, so with this I will stop. We will discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you all.